Okay, so let's I have some silly notes over here that are supposed to somehow give me something, some type of path as to what to talk about and what to say. And it's very hard. I'm sure, like many of you, I spent the last number of days constantly on edge and constantly going from a place of being short or a place of barely holding my emotions together all day long. And there's a lot of information out there. There's tremendous chizuk. There's amazing things happening. Klal Yisrael is coming together like I've certainly never seen before. And I'm sure like most of us have never seen in our lives. The world is turning a little bit. You see support for Klal Yisrael out there like there's definitely never been in the last 20, 30 years, that's for sure. Totally amazing. So this is amazing. But on the other hand, we're all constantly thinking about why the events that led to this. And we're seeing things that chas v'shalom a person should never see. We're feeling things that we should chas v'shalom never ever be feeling. And so we're bouncing back. We're 1 minute, we're proud and we're excited. And we're like, yes, I'm gonna do my part and I'm so happy to see this. And the next minute we're in tears when we see what's really going on. So I want to speak about a few things. This is supposed to be a shir also, so we're gonna learn a little bit in a few svarim. But one of the things I want to say is like this. We're going to speak about bilbulim. Bilbulim means confusions. Things that put us into a place. What does it mean, a place of confusion? A place where we can't act. A place where we're in between things and we don't know how to make deal with what's going on. So we freeze and we're paralyzed. We're going to speak about this. This is the first thing we're going to speak about. So like this, the first thing I want to say before we say that though is like this. I'm walking today out in the vineyard where I work, and I'm trying to do some hisbodedus, and I'm trying to talk to Hashem. And to be honest, it's the easiest time in my life I've ever been able to talk to Hashem. I'm pouring my heart out to Hashem, and I'm totally losing myself, and I'm crying my eyes out, like a little baby, like crying, and I'm crying out to Hashem, and I'm thinking to myself while I'm doing this, Ashreinu, Mamish Ashreinu. Fortunate are we that we have such a relationship with the Ribbon Shalom. That we have a place where our emotions are supposed to go. You know what we're not supposed to do? Right? We're going to see that we, Shmuley sent out a video today of this awesome Chassidish Rebbe me Pashkan, a grandson of the Imre Emes of Vizhnitz, Imre Chaim of Vizhnitz.
He's also sixth generation from the Rizhiner.
Sixth generation from the Heilige Rizhiner. This person who's a Chassidish Rebbe, who's in the army, who's in the reserves, and he's telling us that we have to stick with Yishuv Hadas, and we have to stay with a Ruach Tov and a Ruach Gevoha, and we can't Chas v'Sholem lipol beruach. We can't allow ourselves to fall. So it's beautiful. It's a wonderful idea, right? And it's great, and it's true. And he said to us, don't look too much into the news. Don't allow yourself to be pulled down by what's happening in the news. Fantastic, great. But there's another side to the coin. And that is that I need to feel what's going on with Acheinu Kol Beis Yisrael. And it needs to hurt me. And I need to be emotional. I need to feel this. And the Ribbono Shel Olam is giving us this to all of us. And he's not expecting us to turn a blind eye and to not think about it. And to just be, what? No, sorry, everybody, I'm a Breslover. All I'm going to do is dance and smile. That's it. Dancing and smiling is super important right now. But that's not it. It's not the only thing we have to do. If the Ribbono Shel Olam sends us such a feeling of connection and such a feeling of noisem ba'el chaveiro, such a feeling of desperately wanting to help to carry the burden of what Klal Yisrael is experiencing right now, I'm not supposed to just throw it out. I can't just get rid of that. And he doesn't want me to get rid of it. He's given this to me. And it's a precious, precious, precious gift. Because you know why? Because the Ribbono Shel Olam, it's the clearest it's ever been, I'm sure, for almost any of us, that the Ribbono Shel Olam wants us to feel like we're on the verge of breaking down the entire day. And he wants us to feel like we can barely hold ourselves together. And you know what he wants? He doesn't want us to just not talk to anybody. He doesn't want us to try to pretend like it's not happening. He wants us to go find a place where we can be alone. And he wants us to break down and cry to him with everything we have. He wants that should go to him. He wants to hear our tefillas. He wants to hear our cries. It's so powerful and so important that we don't ignore the emotions that we feel. The emotions are so powerful. He wants to hear us scream for Acheinu Beis Yisrael Hanitzunim B'Tzaru V'Shivya. When was the last time we said B'Shivya? And there were images in our minds of children who are captives. Images in our minds of grandmothers being wheeled out. When did we have such an image, such a feeling, such an emotion, and such a heart like this? You know what it means to go to the Ribbono Shel Olam and to cry for these children, and to cry for all of the soldiers, and to really cry. He didn't give us this emotion by mistake. He didn't give it to us so we could open our phones and start watching television to forget about it. And he didn't even give it to us so that we would forget about it and just dance and smile. Ashreinu, that we have brothers and sisters, that we have a Klal Yisrael, that we have an Am that is it's unbelievable. There's lines of cars lining up right now, literally as we speak, with people bringing anything they can find from their house that could be used by people, soldiers, everyone in Eretz Yisrael right now who needs help. I heard that they were going around in the Bayit tonight, and they were asking doctors what's their profession, what's their specialty, so they can take them over there and they can do what they need to do. Where do we see Ashreinu, that we can't help it. We can't help being noisa be'ol chaverei. We can't help being ima anochi b'tzara. We can't help but being together. So while we're helping, and while we're doing things like this, and we're taking supplies and duffel bags and gloves and underwear and these things that our brothers and sisters need, we can cry for them, and we can mamish tear the heavens open with those tefillas. We know that the Zohar HaKadosh tells us that there's one gate that is never locked. All of the gates of the tefillas are locked for various times for various reasons. Sometimes we do averas and we do stupid things, and we bring ourselves into a place of klipa, and we're cutting off the channels, and our tefillas, it's hard for them to break through. But the shar hadema is the gate of tears. It never closes. You felt like you were going to break down a little bit at some point. You felt the emotion when you saw those images. Don't turn it off. Don't like try to turn the channel and find something smiley and brain turn off. Don't do it. You feel like you're going to cry. Oy, the gates aren't locked. Cry to the Ribono Shel Olam. Cry to the Ribono Shel Olam for those people who seeing them is causing us to well up like this. We love them. We're connected to them in a way that we can't explain, and that we probably never even realized to what extent until we started seeing what was going on. We have such a powerful connection, and we have such an amazing Am Yisrael, Klal Yisrael. This is the first side, that we have to take that and we have to use it. We have to use it to cry to Hashem. We have to use it to inspire us. We have to use it to get us moving. And we have to use it to put us into this place where I can't sit back. I cannot sit back. It's just not an option, right? I heard these words come out of numerous people, out of Shmuli's mouth, out of a few other people's mouth. There's just, the sitting back and doing nothing is not an option. I can't do it. People were not saying this. How many days ago? 5 days ago? We were like, oh yeah, maybe we'll try to do a few things better. Maybe we'll try to come out and daven and learn together, maybe. But really it's too hard, and I have to think about bedtime and dinner time and all the times. It's not an option. We have to do things. We have to step up. This is also from that side. The side that I'm hit so hard. Everything is taken out of me. Cry and take that inspiration and don't let it slide to the back. I have to do something. It's not an option to sit back, and I'm doing it now. The Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't want us to just come together. I love certain people. I'm not going to say names, but certain people are looking at what's going on around the world, and they're like, "Do you see what's happening in New York?" in the 5 towns anyway, in Woodmere, where Rabbi Weidberger is, they're going to a different shul every single night, and they're having some Divrei Chizuk, Divrei Chizuk, and then they're saying Tehillim, and then they're davening Ma'ariv. And they're going to a different shul every night. They're all getting together, and they're doing this. And this person is saying, we got to do this. Let's do it here also. Right? And these things are super awesome and super amazing. And we're going to get together with our neighbors over here this Friday night for a Achdus Dika Kabbalah Shabbos, Ritz Hashem. And we should keep doing this. And these are now, Be'ez Tzara, important things to do. But you know what? The Ribono Shel Olam doesn't want. I don't know the Ribono Shel Olam, what he thinks, and I'm not a Navi, right? I'm not even such a Talmud Chacham. But I know that the Ribono Shel Olam does not want that we should come together and start learning and davening together. And then when things calm down, that's it. If this does not inspire some type of real change in us, I don't know what we are waiting for. And we don't have fear of what the next thing would be that would hit us more powerfully, that would cause some serious permanent change in us. So it's time. Our shul is trying to make an effort for one tiny change. And this change is to, you know what? Just come out and pray in the evening. Ma'ariv. Yeah, if you go to another place for a night seder and you have a chavrusa, it's going fantastic. Beautiful. Keep going. But if not, it's time now. There's no other way to say it. Now is the time. Sitting back is not an option. It's not an option. I like to say it in this way. I said it on the video earlier, that there's such a thing that we all have called the comfort zone. Right? We all have a comfort zone. And it is very hard to get us out of our comfort zone. And sometimes we can do it for a few minutes here and there, right? But it's not easy. And our families have a comfort zone. And our wives have a comfort zone. And our kids have a comfort zone. And everybody has a comfort zone. There are a lot of Yidden in Eretz Yisrael that do not have a comfort zone anymore. At all. There are a lot of Yidden in Eretz Yisrael who are not going to feel comfortable, maybe ever again in their lives. Lives are lost. Children are taken from their parents. Children are killed in front of their parents. Parents are killed in front of their children. Do you think those parents are ever, for one day of their lives, going to regain the comfort that they had before? It's never coming back. Ad Bias HaMashiach. So I'm saying, here we're making an effort for one small thing, one little bit of a change of our comfort zone. It could end up being something very special and uplifting, and not a loss in our comfort zone at all. And if it can't be that we're coming together to daven and to learn, which it should be, right? Then it has to be something else. We cannot sit back. It's not an option. Okay, I'm sorry. I spent a lot of time on the one side, and I only have 4 minutes left.
There's tomorrow.
There's tomorrow, yeah. Yeah. So, on the other side, this is the first side. The second side, and maybe we'll have an introduction to it, and we'll get into it more tomorrow. But the second side, which is equally as important, yes, equally as important, is that, and this is what the Rebbe Pashkan was alluding to, and many people have alluded to, by the way, and that is that I cannot allow myself to fall. I can't allow myself to be pulled down into a place of atzvus and yush, of this type of sadness and despair where there's no hope. Where there's no hope. I can't allow myself to be so buried in all of the things that are going on that I get pulled into such a dark place where I become paralyzed. And I can't do something. I can't do anything. This is for sure not what the Rebbeinu Shalom wants either. I know I'm talking like a prophet. I'll answer for it upstairs if I'm wrong. This is the tools of the Yetzer Hara, the tools of the Satan, and by the way, if you needed any more clear evidence that our enemy over here is pure evil, it's their tool also, is to publish images of barbarism, of absolute immorality and carnage and death in a way only to instill fear, to instill chalishas hadas, a weakening of our state of mind, and to put us into a place where all we want to do is turn the world off and cower. And you see that this is not our way. It's not our way. And it's so important that we do not, the thing that we all have to do over here, if we want to, I wrote down these words, we need to be ma'oded anashim, right? We need to inspire people. We need to how do you translate ma'oded? Lift up. I know, like it's the word for cheerleader in Hebrew also, right? We have to give chizuk to each other. Encourage. And give chizuk to each other. Right? We need to be mechazik each other. We need to sit together and be mechazik each other. To do something. To move and to not sit back. Not an option to sit back. Right? We need to have a ruach tova. We need to take what's going on right now, and we need to put it into a place like these amazing people that we're seeing, where they're standing at the border and saying, we have no svekis. We have no doubts. We have no shilas. We're going to be successful, and we're going. Our spirits are high, they're saying. And we're going. We're moving. And we're going to sit back here in fear. But come on, guys, we can't do that. We can't do it. We can't let them be heroes while we sit back and start twiddling our thumbs and cowering because of the way we feel. So we have to know ourselves. To what extent is what I'm viewing and what I'm putting into my mind and into my soul going to pull me down? Because there's a place where it's going to take that passion, that desire that I have to cry my eyes out to Hashem for my brothers and sisters, and I'm going to do it. And that place where I have an inspiration and a desire to do something that cannot be quashed. And it's not an option not to do something. There's a place, there's a fine line where that's going to be squashed. And I'm going to feel depressed. I'm going to feel sad. I'm going to feel fearful. And I'm going to be paralyzed. And I'm not going to be able to do. This is a tremendously important avodah that we have to undertake. Because once again, is it an option? It's not an option. Right? I couldn't live with myself seeing what's going on over there and seeing the valor and the bravery and the power and the achdus that's happening, and step out of that over here and not try to do something over here. I couldn't live with myself if I don't try, at least. So this is what I'm saying. We're gonna do what we can, chevra, to come together. I think at least for the next couple of days we'll continue in this format. But this is a done deal. Ma'ariv and Night Seder in our shul now, and Tehillim, is a done deal. It's happening. We need to do it. We need to encourage all of our chaverim. You know, we just did a fundraising campaign. You remember, guys? And what was the main lesson that the professional fundraisers told us? The only way you're going to get to people is not from sending out messages and not from flyers. You got to call somebody, and you got to tell them, listen, this is really important to me. I think I would really appreciate it if you would come and help me. We got to call our chaverim, and we got to say, we need to be together. We need to be together in our night seder, in our ma'ariv, in our tehillim. This is the place where we as a community are standing together. And it's not the only thing. We could do other things also. And we could send things to Eretz Yisrael. We could do all those things also. But this is one important step that we have to do together. So let's get out there. Let's be machazik each other. Let's personally connect to each other. Let's start storming the heavens. Let's make a time when I'm going to allow myself to break down and cry to Hashem. Let's make sure we don't get pulled down from what we're seeing, but rather propelled forward with power by what I'm seeing. I know that point, and I'm not going to let myself go below it. And let's do it b'tamidus, consistency, b'tamimus, with simplicity. This is just what I'm doing. Game over. Game over. Mirz Hashem. There's no doubt, like the Rebbe said, like all these heroes are saying over there, there's no question. It's going to happen. And the Nitzachon is coming. And in Mirz Hashem, Mashiach could literally be here right now. It's at the doorstep. So let's do our part. Let's not sit back. And in Mirz Hashem, we'll see the Geula Shlema together.
Amen.